Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is Where Characters Gather. And today, we're going to do another installment of Hidden on My Kindle. Just seems appropriate. I've recently replaced my Kindle, and Fireball, Okay, she's done talking. And I wanted to, remind myself, thus the video, some of the older books sitting on my Kindle awaiting to be read, since I just did a first quarter Kindle haul. So these are older books sitting on my Kindle waiting to be dived into, and they're probably a mixture of purchases and finds on Stuff My Kindle Day and Goodreads wins and giveaways. So, do I always know the source of where I got the books? That was my point. No, I don't. Okay, first up would be Dare to Love Again by Suzanne Ash, new to me author. This is the fourth book in the Love on Palmer Island series, and there's currently 8 books in the series. It's a whopping 182 pages. So we know I didn't buy this one. It's available on Kindle Unlimited. And I'll read you the blurb. She's a widow, busy raising her daughter. He's a man running away from his past. When their lives collide on sunny Palmer Island, will they find love or let the past take over? Maddie Collins lost her husband 6 years ago and is busy raising her 8-year-old daughter by herself while holding down a full-time job at Palmer Island's bookstore. The last thing on her mind is romance. Jake Hartwell left his life up north and found refuge in the charming island community. He loves his low-stress life as a kayak guide and has no intentions of getting attached to anyone. When Maddie's friends give the bookworm a kayak tour as a present for her 30th birthday, their lives collide and sparks fly. But Willow hates Jake and he's not ready to let go of his baggage. Can they overcome their obstacles and find love, or will they let this chance at happiness pass them by? Dare to Love Again was previously published in the Finally Got It Right romance anthology. It is a clean and wholesome romance with no cliffhangers and a happily ever after. And at 182 pages, it's going to be a little insta-lovey, which, happens sometimes. So, okay. Next up would be The Enigma of Lake Falls, and this is by Brittany E. Brinegar. And I happen to know I got this one on a Stuff Your Kindle Day. And this is a cozy mystery meets espionage thriller. From the moment they met, it was espionage. She has secrets. He's a detective. But some things should stay dead and buried. Jenny boards the train for Texas in 1949. Haunted by a family scandal, she's desperate for a new life. From the moment of her arrival, the master of disguise charms her way into the heart of the small town. Sawyer Finn is the prodigal son returning home. Fighting family expectations, he opens a detective agency in a town without crime. In over his head, he accepts help from a nosy secretary with a plan. When a Russian spy turns Lake Falls upside down, Sawyer and Jenny embark on a treacherous journey for the truth. In a town with more secrets than people, everyone is a suspect. Can the detectives navigate growing feelings and crack the code in time? Or will the dangerous pursuit drown them in international espionage? And this is the first book in the Spies of Texas series. And I have it pulled up on Goodreads, so I don't know how many pages this is. But, it looks intriguing. So, I am here for it. Okay, Next up would be The Queen of Shifting Sands by Caitlin Carter Brown. And this is the first book in the Installment Chronicle series. And it is 451 pages. And the cover is intriguing, and I have not read anything by this author. A crownless queen, a cursed prince, one summer to live. The stars have aligned in the kingdom of Installment, or so Lystra believes when she eagerly awaits her wedding day. Her beloved, the king, is everything her heart desires. But when a brutal attack leaves her betrothed dead and Installment on the cusp of collapse, she finds her future in ruins, and the throne beyond her reach. With invasion looming across the desert, Lystra refuses to let grief keep her from defending her kingdom, even if that means forging a marriage alliance with Elric, the brother of her lost love, a prince shrouded in secrets. Elric, now heir to the throne, has spent his life waiting to die. An untouchable curse lurks beneath his skin, and though he aches to see its suffocating hold severed, he's long given up hope. When his brother's death drags him from the shadows, Elric must find the strength to shoulder the crown's burdens and secure a queen. A wife to protect his kingdom after the curse claims him. But the adoration of the people already in the palm of her hands, Lystra is the ideal candidate. But even if she doesn't spurn him for his ruinous curse, he'll need to protect her from its dangers, and his heart as he finds himself steadily drawn to the girl's unbreakable spirit. With death on the horizon, Elric must become the king he never planned to be, and save Installment before his time runs out. Lystra and Elric have only one summer to prepare their kingdom for invasion, but more than one threat prowls their desert, and the cost of survival might just destroy them all. Queen of Shifting Sands is a fantastical romance adventure where duty and endurance grapple amid the sands of chaos. Lovers of intrigue, high stakes, and slow burn romance will fall in love with this adult fantasy. Escape into the rich, immersive world of Installment Chronicles. And if I remember correctly, this was published in March of 2024. And I think the comments said it was clean. So, I am very interested. Yeah, okay. Next up, this I know was a Goodreads win. That is Law Firms and Librarians, The Files of Dread. This is by Thomas Oliver Courtney. It is 320 pages. And I will read you the blurb. Law Firms and Librarians, The Files of Dread, is now the first place winner of the 2023 BookFest Award for Fantasy Fiction and a 2023 Unshelved Top Indie Published Book of the Year. Read the first of a series of hilarious novels for lovers of the Dungeons and Dragons game. Join the fawn, the unicorn, and the pixie of the brackish swamp as they embark on their first reverse lit RPG adventure in our world. Battle Karen crawlers, hear ID6 rumors from conspiracy theorists, and debate sisters of a sorority. Can this party of fantastical origins get to the file before it's opened? If you enjoy role-playing games such as Dungeons and Dragons, you are in the right place. For tonight's adventure, the ogre has decided to become the library master. He will describe all of the setting and the action to the story to the other players. The fawn has decided to play a surfer named Utah. The pixie has chosen the name of Caitlin, a first-level legal assistant. The third player is very excited about a new class he has read about a beer-loving hipster. They've all been warned that danger is imminent. A terrible thing known as a file is about to be opened, spewing forth a horde of evil consequences for all in this great city of San Diego, here in the realm of Murka. They must use all of their cunning, wits, and creativity to stop it. The library master has just placed their characters' game figures on the top of the boulder. The sounds of the swamp have faded into the night. It's time to begin our first L&L adventure, the File of Dread. Who knows? But, don't know until you try. And after all, that's what I use Goodreads giveaways for. Okay. Next up is Not Bored by Aurora Darklight. This is the first book in the Elizabeth's Trilogy series. And it doesn't say how many pages, but it does say it's a sweet, clean trilogy. A carton of ice cream and an infomercial changed my life. Drive, focus, and a solid plan for my future never left time for any of the fun things in school. Not that it mattered. Guys never looked at the tall, chubby, nerdy girl. And they still don't, now that I'm a 30-something professional woman. Not that I give them a chance, working 6 days a week and spending most of the 7th day doing laundry or watching movies with my best friend. How did the perfect life become boring? When my best friend agrees to jump into the exciting unknown with me, endless opportunities appear. None of them make my heart flutter until I see him. Kent, a luxury hotel manager, is everything I could ever dream of in a man. Kind, thoughtful, a brilliant businessman, and game to join in any adventure I come up with. Not to mention he's taller than me when I wear heels. A guy like that would never like a girl like me. This sweet, clean trilogy is a slow burn romance, but Liz will get her happily ever after eventually. Yeah. I need to know. Okay, next up is Cities of Smoke and Starlight. This is the first book in the Gate Chronicles by Allie Ernst. And it is 488 pages. 2 lost souls, 1 dangerous mission. Case is a screw-up, and when he takes the blame for nearly killing a fellow pilot, he faces serious charges. Seeking to clear his name, he flies a ragtag crew to establish trade with a hostile race and help his nation avoid the looming war. If only he didn't have to work with the infuriating bookshop attendant who insulted him with Shakespeare. After Hallie loses her bookshop job and the promise of school tuition, she's desperate to avoid the ghosts of the past awaiting her return home. When offered a substantial sum to negotiate an alliance for her country, she says yes before the nice government agent can finish his sentence. Now, if she could just ignore the ungrateful, arrogant prat of a pilot. In a world of hover ships and crumbling first Earth artifacts, Hallie and Case must accomplish the impossible. Secure an alliance with an elusive, mystical race to help defend against a kingdom with dangerous technology and ancient magic. If they fail, the war will be lost before it has even begun. Cities of Smoke and Starlight is a science fantasy novel perfect for fans of Dune, Pride and Prejudice, and anyone who believed Rogue One needed a romantic subplot. I believe Rogue One needed a romantic subplot, so I'm definitely here for this. I'm definitely here for this. Yeah. And it says it is a Christian book, so we shall see. Next up, and I bought this out of pure nostalgic. I've read this entire series, and if I see them on Kindle on sale, I do buy them these days. That is, One Fine Day, the Rabbi bought a Cross by Harry Kemmelman. This is the 10th book in the Rabbi Small Mystery series. It's a whopping 252 pages. I devoured these growing up. This was first published in 1987. I read them through college and graduate school. They're fantastic. I'll read you the blurb. On a trip to the Holy Land, Rabbi Small is drawn into deadly conflict between religious extremists. Retired millionaire Barney Berkowitz, from the small Massachusetts town of Barnard's Crossing, invites Rabbi David Small to come to Israel and bar mitzvah him, as Berkowitz never went through the ceremony in his youth. On what should be a joyous occasion and an all-expenses-paid trip through the Holy Land, the rabbi discovers danger lurking in every corner and a conspiracy that threatens to destroy the state of Israel. An innocent American has been murdered, and when the sleuthing rabbi begins his investigation, he finds the death may have been part of an international conspiracy fueled by religious radicals and an arms smuggling scheme. Anyone, from liberal Jewish American professor to a young religious fundamentalist, could be a suspect, and the rabbi must rely on his Talmudic logic and daring chutzpah to untangle the mystery and prevent an even more deadly attack. As I said, I read these as they came out. I loved them. I will gladly continue to pick these up as they go on sale on my Kindle. And I highly recommend these. Okay, next up would be Dizzy in Love by Brittany Larson. It is 286 pages, and it is part of the Creekville Kisses 2 series. And here's the blurb. Jaden Holt is totally wrong for me, but then, when have I ever done anything right? People call me Dizzy Izzy. Between my elopement, divorce, bankruptcy, and arrest, they may not be wrong. For the record, the misdemeanor wasn't my fault. I blame my ADD. Jaden Holt, aka Your Honor, is more buttoned up than a middle-aged accountant, but he's the only one who's ever seen me as more than a screw-up. He just happens to be my first love, my first heartbreak, and the judge at my first courtroom appearance. Imagine my surprise when sparks fly and the possibility of a new relationship has me spinning, until some surprising news has me reconsidering my ex-husband and the marriage we once shared. Giving my ex a second chance may prove that I can finish at least one thing I've started. But it also means giving up the guy who sees me as more than just dizzy. Dizzy in Love is a laugh out loud, melt your knees, second chance romance. We all need a good rom-com. Speaking of which, next up would be The Friendly Disaster by Deneen Miller. It is the second book in the Seashells and Sunset series, and I believe this was a Stuff Your Kindle find. It is 200 pages. It's going to fall under Instant Love at that page number. But here's the description. He waited too long to admit how he feels, and now she's found a perfect match. Will this triangle of passion end in calamity or kisses? Kalen Cooper is a master at hiding his emotions. Having been in love with his best friend since their awkward middle school phase, the coffee shop owner is afraid to clue her in to his true desires. But when his bestie's devastatingly bad dalliances take a worrying turn for the serious, Kalen decides it's time to make his well-hidden crush public. Emma Price is a hot mess, with all of her romantic escapades, ending in an absolute dumpster fire. This beautiful art teacher dreams of one day meeting a halfway decent guy. So when she finally starts dating a man with a solid head on his shoulders, the starry-eyed hopeful can't understand why her BFF continually shows his disapproval. As Kaylin's plan to attract visitors to Emma's show pales in comparison to her new boyfriend's connections, the besotted man fears he'll never be enough. But when Emma's eyes are open to her platonic pal's extreme efforts, she wonders if it's wrong to keep him in the friend zone. Can a bashful barista prove to a struggling artist he's soulmate material? The Friendly Disaster is a feel-good second book in the Seashells and Sunset romantic comedy series. If you like genuine characters, witty banter, and delightful tropical settings, you'll enjoy this book. And they are available on Kindle Unlimited. I just checked. So, okay. Next up. This blurb is so small. This is the Corfu Capers by Joy Sky. It is 257 pages. You ready for the blurb? Here we go. 5 people, 3 secrets, 1 planned proposal. What could possibly go wrong? A holiday on a luxury villa on Corfu sounds like the answer to all of their prayers, but it will change their lives forever. A week in paradise might not be long enough. That is the entire blurb. Okay. Last one. This is Oil and Marble by Stephanie Story. New to me author. It is 362 pages and is historical fiction. From 1501 to 1505, Leonardo da Vinci and Michelangelo Buonarroti, no wonder we don't say his name, both lived and worked in Florence. Leonardo was a charming, handsome 50-year-old at the peak of his career. Michelangelo was a temperamental sculptor in his mid-20s, desperate to make a name for himself. Michelangelo is a virtual unknown when he returns to Florence and wins the commission to carve what will become the most famous sculpture of all time, David. Even though his impoverished family shuns him for being an artist, he is desperate to support them. Living at the foot of his misshapen block of marble, Michelangelo struggles until the stone finally begins to speak. Working against an impossible deadline, he begins his feverish carving. Meanwhile, Leonardo's life is falling apart. He loses the hope for David commission. He can't seem to finish any project. He's obsessed with his ungainly flying machine. He almost dies in war. His engineering designs disastrously fail, and he is haunted by a woman he has seen in the market, a merchant's wife, whom he is finally commissioned to paint. Her name is Lisa, and she becomes his muse. Leonardo despises Michelangelo for his youth and lack of sophistication. Michelangelo both loathes and worships Leonardo's genius. Oil and Marble is the story of their nearly forgotten rivalry. The story brings early 16th century Florence alive and has entered with extraordinary empathy into the minds and souls of 2 Renaissance masters. The book is an art history thriller. I cannot wait to read that book. It is captivating. So, that is hidden on my Kindle. I believe this is the 4th installment. And there will be more because, we know my Kindle. It is stuffed and it is getting more stuffed on a daily basis. some weeks. So, what's hidden on your Kindle that you've forgotten about? Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.